夜光が放つ輝きに照らされ迷い子の夢の後錆びついてる羽をばたつかせて明日へそれかける都会を
Folks, aloha, welcome back to DokoGa TV Japan Mania. Very, very special guest today. And I don't even know where to start because aside from being a guitar god and aside from being the gunslinger, the guitar slinger from Megadeth, aside from being a Nihongo specialist,
A J-Pop specialist.
author, that's right, and as well as now a TV circuit, right? TV host, Mr. Marty Friedman. I want to welcome him to DokoGa TV.
Yay!
How's it, bro?
How's it, bro?
Shoot.
Okole, there you go. See? Now, the reason why he knows these particular words is that he had a band back in Hawaii called Hawaii. And I remember them because I was a Secret Right fan, I was a Hawaii fan, and they rocked. And they were just awesome. We have the same engineer, too, for our city's Pierre Grill. Pierre, how's it going? Cacophony.
Yeah.
I had the cassette. Now, for those that cacophony actually means you'll never be able to play this ever. Okay, so don't even try. Marty recorded with Jason Becker, right? Cassette. Did they ever have CD as well?
Yeah, it turned into a CD eventually.
Okay. Basically,
Dating it though.
blazing guitar work on there, and from there, Megadeth. You're the guitar singer for Megadeth, and of course you have fans worldwide and stuff. So from the transition from guitar and stuff, can you explain the evolution to where you are now as far as Japan? Yeah.
Well, I've been to Japan so many times on tour with Megadeth, and even before that with Cacophony. So always liked it and stuff, and started to pick up the language a little bit at a time.
Oh, that's great.
And like when I was touring with Megadeth, I was with Megadeth for like 10 years. And every time we come to Japan, I'd be listening to Japanese music. I'd hear it around me. I wouldn't know what it was.
Sure.
I just knew it was so different from
Yes.
American music. And then I just started to figure out, I really like this, so I should look into it. So I started to learn what things are, and then buying loads of CDs and listening to them on tour and stuff.
Wow.
And I just got so into it that I started thinking, I really want to do this kind of music.
That's awesome.
Why not do the music that you like?
Yeah.
I would love the music that I was playing in Megadeth, but I'd be listening to J-Pop all the time, and then going and playing this metal. And like J-Pop, like for people who don't know, is like it's like ultra poppy music, but there's a lot of elements of heavy metal in there. It has like a lot of the things I like about pop sensibility. Like it's basically really good songwriting, but a lot of the people who make it, which I've learned since I come here, they're all metal fans. But like as we know, metal doesn't sell records.
Exactly.
So like they got into a more kind of
Serious.
Serious. They get into like a more. See, I can't even speak English anymore. I knew it was going to happen. So like, everybody like they put their own kind of metal taste in this super pop music, and I'm like, I listen to pop music the whole time, but what comes out of me natural is a very metal sound, a very metal kind of playing. So it was a really natural match to want to come and play J-pop.
It's amazing. Now, I understand you wrote a book about that as well.
It's called Ijan J-Pop, which means Ijan is like turned into a catchphrase, but it's something that I said as a kuchigusete. I can't
like a habit.
Mouth habit?
Mouth habit, yeah. Literally.
It's a phrase that usually comes out.
Just to interject, when we came in the office, it was total Japanese.
So.
Could you speak English, please? I'm like, really?
It's really weird. I used to say Ijan all the time, which I guess in English it means kind of like awesome dude or something like that. And I used to say it all the time when I was doing this one TV show, and this actress was on there, and then all of a sudden she started saying Ijan, and I figured out she's like making fun of me.
Oh.
She was like kind of like monomane. I can't speak English.
Monomane. Imitation.
Imitation. Doing an imitation of me. She's doing an imitation of me, and it just kind of like started picking up, and everybody's like, he actually says Ijan all the time.
Yeah.
So like it sort of got associated with me as just something that I say all the time, and so that became the title of the book. But like more seriously, the book, what's in the book, is like all about J-pop music specifically a lot of songs where I dissect like maybe 100-something songs. I have a Mensai te nani?
Mensai, like, series?
A monthly series in Nikkei Entertainment Magazine. I have that, and I've been doing that for 2 years now. And each week, each month, I have like 3 songs that are going to probably be in the top 10 the time the magazine comes out, and I dissect them. So I've been doing that for 2 years, and so the book is made up out of a lot of those, plus special, like an interview where I talk about in detail about like just musical stuff and how I grew up and being in Hawaii and stuff. And Hawaii is where I first got any kind of taste of Japanese stuff at all. From like a Japanese radio station in Hawaii was playing Japanese music and had Japanese talk, and I didn't know if it was Japanese or Filipino or Korean or what. It's like, this is hella exotic,
Right.
you know, and I just, this music is insane, so I like started to learn it, and then like started to figure out, okay, this is Japanese. And even the talking, I think they were talking about cooking or something, or the weather in Japan. You know, I have no idea, but it's a Japanese radio station in Hawaii. So I'm talking about everything so that people get an idea of just my history and stuff. And but the book is like, I think it should really come out in English.
It should.
We're hoping. I was asking Sachi, was there an English version?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've been telling the company about doing it, and they're like, you know, it's got to sell first here. Then we can talk about that. And actually, it was on the bestseller list on Amazon.
Wow, congratulations.
Totally surprised and stoked. But more importantly than that, I want it to come out in English because there's so much great music here in Japan that even if you don't understand Japanese, you can get into it. Yeah, it just sounds different. It's just cool.
Yeah. You work with Aikawa Nanase, right?
Yes.
How was it?
I love it. I was a big fan of hers for years. As a fan, I mean, it's great. I've worked with a lot of people who I've been an actual fan of.
Wow, like
Since
who?
I've come here, like Kahawa Tomomi, and Hirohara Ayaka,
Eh.
and Kitare Nana, who I'm a huge fan of. And I've produced her last bunch of songs, and
Wow.
as a fan, it's like it's hard to contain your excitement. You gotta like act like professional and
We
stuff.
had to do that before
Yeah.
we came here.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned Hawaii. How long did you live there?
I lived there for like 4 years.
Did you go to Hot Licks?
I taught guitar there.
Wow.
I did. I taught
So that was
guitar
time
there.
when Harvard is still.
Yeah,
still
Howard,
there. Oh,
great
Howard
guy.
was
I was at that time, you know, it was really weird because most people in Hawaii enjoy what's good about Hawaii, you know, which is like going to the beach and
Sure.
hanging out and having a good time. At that point, for some reason, I was like really against anything mainstream at all. So I thought going to the beach was lame. Hanging out on boats and drinking beer sucked. I was totally stupid. At that point, I was like, the hell with all that. I was locked myself in a room and practiced. I shaved my skills, but what a stupid place to do it. I should have shaved my skills when I lived in Washington, D.C., which sucks. I should have like been enjoying Hawaii, you know?
That's true.
You know, I should have been like having fun and stuff, but actually, I loved it. I loved living there, and I loved just the whole. I have so many great memories of being in Hawaii, but like at that time, you know, that rebelliousness led me to like really explore the instruments. That was probably the biggest from A to B leap in my guitar playing.
I see.
But I was the only like white guy there whose skin like looked like this. You know what I mean? Full on howly. Full on howly mode. You know, it's like in that Pigeon to the Max book.
Oh yeah.
I was like the typical howly. Totally howly.